It's been 2 weeks since 34-year-old Melissa Whitsitt was last seen boarding a bus going to Denver. Her parents are pleading the public for help. So what happened and where is Melissa? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, The Pascal Show, one word. Hit that like button down below. And let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, what's up? Be sure to crush that follow button on my Facebook page if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this story. Now, this is the story of 34-year-old Melissa Whitsitt. She has been missing for the last 2 weeks. She was last seen boarding a bus going to Denver. She was leaving from Winter Park, from the Winter Park Resort. She got a new gig there as a chef. And now she's gone missing. And the parents are looking for her, begging and pleading for some help. We got some clips that I'm going to share with you guys with the parents speaking out, especially about this one piece, the cell phone, her cell phone that was actually being used by an unknown man. He used the phone and was calling many, many phone numbers on her actual cell phone. We're going to be talking about that. But mainly I wanted to bring up, because that is still a very strange piece of information. Am I right? That's a very interesting piece of information. But we still need to know the nuts and bolts, the basics, the foundation of this story. The search for the Winter Park woman who has disappeared 2 weeks ago continues. So investigators say Melissa Whitsitt, she's 34, was last seen on August 13th. And was reported missing 2 days after she was last seen on the 100 block of Woodspore Lane in Winter Park. Very adventurous. She loved the outdoors, said her father, Jerry. Her love for the outdoors is what brought the Tennessee native to Colorado in May. She was looking to a new beginning. Starting in Colorado, she loved it there, Cindy, her mother, said. Melissa's parents say a job at Winter Park Resort was what sealed the deal on the move, working as an assistant chef at Sunspot Lodge. I mean, it sounds like a cushy job, moving from Tennessee all the way out there to basically to Colorado. That's quite a change. That's quite a move. And of course, I have to ask this question. What is the reason why she wanted to change so badly? Because there could be a connection into why she's missing here. Maybe not. Maybe just because she just wanted a different life, different situation, different backdrop, different energy. Anything of those things could be it too. But maybe there's a connection to her reasons of moving as well. But that's just speculation. That's just speculation. Investigators with Fraser Winter Park Police determined Melissa got on the Mustang bus to Denver around 10 in the morning on the 13th. They say the last person who saw her was her roommate, who told police she was in her own bed. Police did a wellness check when she didn't show up to work, which is obviously a dead giveaway on something's not right here, right? You don't show up to the job that you are known to showing up to all the time. That's no bueno, guys. That's no bueno. That's when we talked to them about the belongings in the room to try to get a clue as to what she was up to. And it seemed pretty clear she was planning on coming back. Detectives learned her phone was being used. Now, this is the part that's kind of strange, that the phone was being used by an unknown man that day to contact several people in the Denver metro area. Her phone has since been turned off and no one can get a hold of her. So it does make you wonder, what actually could have happened on that bus? If she really boarded that bus, if they say that she was last seen boarding this bus, who was she riding with? Who's this unknown man that was on the phone making these phone calls? And what's up with that? Why was this person using her cell phone to make phone calls? And why is this phone now dead? That's frustrating. But on Ashley Banfield, the parents did speak out, talking about how they were able to find out the phone numbers that this unknown man was using, how they knew that there was an unknown man making these phone calls in the first place. So let's take a look at some of these clips here.
How do we know it was a male on the phone making the calls? So, you know, the first thing we did was look at her phone, and because obviously it was off, we couldn't contact her. So she's on our account. So the first thing we did was go pull the phone records and see when the last time the phone was used. And that's when we saw several numbers that we didn't recognize. And so we decided to just call them. So we called the number, and a male answered, and we asked him, you know, about speaking with Melissa, and he said he never spoke with Melissa, and so we said, you know, we find that odd because you know your phone was contacted by her phone, so somebody spoke to her, and he said, hang on a minute, let me look at my records, and he went back and looked, and he said, oh, that phone did call me, but it was a guy that called me from that phone. It wasn't a female. It wasn't Melissa. And so we inquired of him what that guy wanted, and he said he wanted a ride because he offers transport services around Denver. And that's really all the information we got from him. We turned that information over to authorities, the number that was called, and what the guy's name was.
You know, I'm curious as to why this phone call was made to this transporting guy. I mean, you know, does he just run his own limo service? Does, you know, like his own type of ride share service that is just a phone call away instead of using an app like Uber or Lyft or anything of that sort? It does make me wonder, what's the connection? Why is there a phone call being made to this man specifically by this unknown man using Melissa's cell phone? That is just very, very strange to me. Again, hopefully law enforcement are diving into that and just seeing what's up. But let's continue, because it could be just a phone call that he made. But it is a bit odd that he would call that specific guy, who is a driver, to drive him. So what is the reason behind it?
Had he, that unknown male, called that number 6 times, or called around to various numbers to various different people 6 times?
It was actually, I think, 4 times that number had called. 3 of them were listed as 1 minute, which could have meant they weren't very long at all. And then one of them was listed for 2 minutes. So that's what we assumed was when he had a conversation. So that would have been 4 or 5 calls. And then there was one more number that we didn't recognize, that we never could figure out who it was to.
So, and I'm hoping on that piece, that last piece, I'm hoping that 50 is doing their due diligence in diving into these phone calls, because the ones that were a little bit longer, obviously he was having a conversation with somebody, or he was leaving messages with somebody. Those phone calls, who are they? They need to do their due diligence. But the other part is the other phone calls that he was making. I mean, let's be real. This unknown man was making many phone calls as soon as he got that phone. Who was he calling? Again, who was he calling, and why? Was this something like a Taken situation, a little Liam Neeson's situation here, where it's a lot deeper, like we're looking into a much deeper rabbit hole here? Or was this guy actually just trying to make a phone call, trying to find out whose phone this was? But that seems a little bit weird too. Let me say this too really quick. Instantly, if you're even able to get into a phone, let's not forget, there's Face ID. There's some have phone prints. Some of you guys have that phone still that you got to put your thumb print in it or fingerprint in it. A lot of them still have code in there as well. You got to type in a long digit code to get into the phone, or a pattern. You got to swipe onto the front of it. Some of y'all Androids out there, okay? There's a lot you got to do to be able to get access into the phone. So why did he have the phone in the first place? How was he able to hack into it or open it in the second place? And then, of course, when you're going into contacts, the first thing you're calling is mom, dad, that's listed on there, okay? Or any of them that say like ICE, you know, in case of emergency. Some of them will have that, the person's name and then ICE next to it or in front of it, whatever it is. Clearly, you're going to be calling that, or just straight up 911, right? If you saw some foul play go down, or you found the cell phone in a suspicious area. So why suddenly this guy's calling all these unknown numbers instead of actually calling mama, daddy, any of the other people that she may be connected to? It just seems a bit weird. Seems like he was calling people that he knew. But again, that's just theory, guys. That's just speculation. Let's hear the rest of what the family got to say.
So I noticed on some of the pictures that Melissa has dark hair in some of the pictures, blonde hair in some of the pictures. Very, very different look. I mean, she really almost looks like two different people. Is that helpful, and is that something that's getting out there so that if in fact she may have changed her look, people would know?
So the blonde picture, we were instructed by authorities. Because we're in Tennessee and she was in Colorado, we were instructed that there may be some connections. That blonde picture is an older picture of Melissa. The dark hair is what she looked like when she went missing. But we were instructed because there may be people that hadn't seen Melissa in a while, and we all know how easy it is for us ladies to change our hair color. So she loved doing that, and so that's why we tried to show all of those looks so that someone might recognize that picture. Just get as instructed.
You know, my heart breaks for the family, for real. Again, I get it, showing the old photos and the new ones, because there are people who travel, move elsewhere that may have known her when she was younger and are in the area that could have been like, oh, I knew her back in the day when she looked like that as a blonde or something like that. So I think it's very important, and I'm glad that the parents are showing that as well. That's the piece that just isn't computing to me. Who is this guy? Why did he have her phone? And the other part is he was making phone calls to try to get a ride, or at least one of the phone calls was him trying to get a ride. There were other phone calls that were made that were about 1 minute long. Either he was calling somebody and those were just going straight to voicemail, or people were picking up and he was having very, very swift conversations with people. Was this a situation where she was taken, or did he just happen to find her cell phone randomly on the side of the road? But there's some more information here that I wanted to give you guys really quick, because she is still missing right now. She is still out here, and I'm sure we all would like to know a little bit more information. But real quick, the information that they said is the phone has been dead after that. It went dead after all those phone calls. All right. It's not been on, nor has her debit card been touched. She has money. Now, this is what the mother said, okay? In the past, she would call and tell us she was going hiking with the girls she worked with or shopping for the day. So she was she had an open conversation, or an open line of communication with her parents to let them know that she was going to do this, that, and the third, which is an amazing thing that they have that kind of relationship, right? But the fact that she was not making any phone calls to the parents, letting them know what she was up to and all that, is still fishy as hell. But the other part that's interesting is whoever took her knew not to touch anything else except her cell phone, which is still interesting. If you're up to doing something bad, you don't use the cell phones. Let's keep it real. But the fact that the phone is either dead or turned off says a lot as well. Her debit card has not been used. So that does not make any sense. And it sounds like from her mother, the mother saying she has money, it does sound like, there would have been a reason for this person. If she was taken against her will, there'd be a reason for the person to take her debit card and try to use it, because she got some bags apparently. Okay. But however, this time Melissa didn't tell her mother about the trip to Denver, and Cindy, the mother, said she didn't know if she was meeting someone. Our biggest fear is the unknown. We're hoping for the best, but we got to face reality. The world we live in today is kind of like this. Yes, something's most definitely in the water, y'all. Something's most definitely in the water. Okay? So they say, as far as, of course, what she was last wearing and all that, they say investigators say Melissa Whitsitt was last seen wearing blue bell-bottom jeans, a blue tank top, and a possible white sweatshirt. She has a heart tattoo on her left hand and a flower tattoo on her right wrist. Denver police are assisting the Fraser Winter Park Police. If you have any information, of course, call 911, or you can call the Fraser Winter Park Police at 970-722-7779. Again, it is 970-722-7779. Listen, y'all, the more we put her name out there, the more we talk about this story, the more we get closer to getting her home safely. And I'm hoping still breathing. But this is still a very strange series of events. She hopped on a bus, she went out to Denver, and she was never seen or heard from again. But her cell phone was being used, and I'm still wondering who was using her cell phone. Who was she on the bus with? Was it a new fling, a love interest, a good friend, or someone seemingly to be a good friend? Who was with her that made her disappear in this type of fashion? Again, the more we talk about it, the more we bring more awareness to the situation. Anyway, guys, please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Obviously, my heart goes out to this family, and my heart goes out to Melissa wherever she is. I hope she is safe, and I hope she is safe from any type of evil. But you just never know. Like the mother said, we live in some crazy times out here, y'all. We live in some crazy, crazy times. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit that follow button on my Facebook page, please and thank you. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyways, time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.